We just got different viewpoints, you and me. That doesn't mean we can't talk. We don't have to be enemies.
Hello, whoever you are. Waiting on some people to get in here. How you doing? Waiting on a couple more people. Then hopefully Swan. I don't know if she knows if I'm up or not, but I'll get some more details in a minute, guys. What's up, viewer number 3? How you doing? Waiting on some regular subs to come in because we're talking about kind of a personal subject today. You're welcome to stay around if you're not a sub. We'll be talking about a heavy subject that all pet owners eventually have to face, and it never gets easier. Wow. Appreciate it, Wolf. God, I got. Composure. Thanks, Wolfie. We've got even though by the way, I hit 3,600 subs Saturday night. I was going to do a live and then somebody unsubscribed, so it took me down to 65.99. But the reason that I started doing the streams and for the group to see. Hey, Swan. I haven't been on in a couple of days either. I've been out of town, and Wolfie, Juan, did you? Wolfie told me that you something major happened to you today, and I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday or the day before, but I don't know. I'm happy. I'm very proud right now because of what we have created and the ability for us to come together and talk to somebody, who's you know one of the top members, and okay, that may happen a couple of times, um, because you know you guys know me and you know that animals, Swan, I would never ask you or if you do want to go live and talk to me right now, uh, I will absolutely put you on. Wolfie sent me a text, and I was just chilling. I was taking a refresh day, if you will, and he sent me the news, the word about Bowser, and I've never met Bowser. I didn't have to because Bowser is a very special pet companion um, to Swan. And you guys, if you're new in here and you're rolling through and you're like, well, why is he getting all emotional? I'm an empath, and when it comes to animals, especially, and really when it comes to animals of a top tier sub, we formed this group so that we could, talk about stuff that's difficult. Um, so Swan, I mean, clearly you don't have to come in here and talk about it, but thank you. That's right, Sean. But okay, so good. That's beautiful, Swan. That's absolutely beautiful. I've known I've known pet owners, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for keeping their dog around or cat or whatever their animal around for longer than they really need to be around, because I've seen it. I've seen it. And if a dog or a cat, if they're living, what the hell? What's going on, man? What is it with me and Mondays? Um, if a, you know, if a dog or a cat is in pain and they're not able to live a good quality of life, then I think that, responsible pet owners, you make that decision. The dog really makes that decision. And I'm sure I don't even have to ask Swan, but so at noon while I sang to Bowser his forever song. Ah, Swan, you were given a special gift, and you know that. And I mean the gift to be able to be there. So in that aspect, I'm really happy for you, Swan. I know that sounds morbid, but you now have that memory that you were able to, to be there, to see him off to whatever important matters he has to be in. We don't know where he's at. Yeah, we don't. Swan, you know what I'm going to tell you? We talk about it all the time. We talk about death, mortality, the afterlife. And I've shared my thoughts with it many times. I think that every soul that's on this planet is, even if you don't, you're not a Christian like Wolfie, or you're not very religious like a lot of people. You can still be spiritual, and I've always thought that we move on from here. I think we're all a part of each other. I think that everything on this planet, I think we're kind of mended together, and we don't really understand how. Or in the universe, not the planet, in the entire universe. So, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm an empath, and I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. And for most people, a lot of people, I don't really care. There's a lot of humans out there who, I let me rephrase that. I do care. I don't want anyone to lose an animal, but when it's one of our own, and she's such just a wonderful person all around. If anybody else wants to, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna set it up where if anybody wants to come in here and pay their respects, or say something to Swan, I welcome you to do that. Sorry, I know you're getting a crazy view. I don't see y'all when I'm doing. I don't see what your view is when I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this up there. No one's obligated to. It's a tough subject. Let me see. Appreciate it, Wolf. Monkey the cat keeps looking for him. Odin won't lay on the side of the bed, Pat. Hey man, want to tell me what's happening here? I'm kind of new. Well, okay, yeah, I'll tell you. We have a group of people. I'm a First Amendment auditor, but we have a group of people who, well, I've been screaming a little bit, a lot more than I used to. Not lately; it's kind of come down a little bit, but um, I'm explaining to Antonio. So Swan is she's one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. We have some people in this group that we come on, we talk about things, and we have different political beliefs, different religious beliefs, and it doesn't matter, because when you get down to it, it's a human connection. And you know, Swan, you see her up there typing her stuff about Bowser. She had to make a decision today, and one of her beloved dogs has moved on to the next phase, whatever his next phase will be. Swan, I can't, I could go on and on and on about where we think Bowser could be. He's in your heart, number one. And I know that sounds so cheesy to say, but I mean that literally. I mean, you carry him every day with you, every memory you have, and you gave him those memories. He, he had a great mom, and the amount of dogs out there that live in terrible conditions, or don't even get a chance, just get thrown in the shelter, because they're eating too much food, or they potted on the carpet or something. I mean, and that kind of stuff happens every day, but it would never happen with Swan, because Swan's one of us. Swan gets it, that when you take a dog or a cat or any type of animal on, it's not a status symbol to walk your dog, to show your dog off. It's for life. It's for life, and that dog may wind up costing you a lot of money later in life, but she gets that. And when someone like that loses Bowser, it's losing a family member. And I know all these things are cliche. I wish I could give you something, Swan, that's a little more that's a little more meaningful. There you go. You say Bowser's with his cat Bug and his a dog mom now. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it too. I'm absolutely sure of it. But I mean, that's what that's today. You saw it in progress. You saw, even though there's only 6, 8 people in here, sometimes 10. I don't think about those things. I think about the human connection that I have with a lot of you, and to have Wolfie looking after you and let me know. And I sent him a text back, and I was like, that sucks, man. I'm going to go live. And I just wanted to go live to, talk to you a little bit. And if anybody else has any words of encouragement or anything that they want to give Swan, we would gladly take those. That link's up, and it's fine if you don't want to. It's absolutely fine. I get it. I get it. But you got a gift there, Bowser. I said Bowser. You got a gift, Swan. Bowser kind of told you, there's a movie out there. It's called A Dog's Purpose. I'm sure Swan's probably seen it. I don't know how many other people have seen it, but there's a really, really beautiful moment in that film where one of the dogs is sick. Is sick, and she's or the person's having a tough time deciding, you know, when's the right time? Is there a right time? And you really have to pay attention to your animals, because our Xena bug, she's the pit bull that I had before that I have now. She let us know, and there's no way that I would let her stay here in pain. So even though it doesn't seem like a gift, I know what you're talking. I know what I'm talking about, Swan. That's a gift, to be able to have your animal tell you, okay, I'm ready. And Swan, she continues. Look at her. She just continues to be positive, and that's such a unique thing. Such a unique thing. And I'm proud of every person that's ever subbed, that's come in here and had private conversations with me. And I want to be there for you guys, to share your joy and your pain. The best part of being human is reaching out that hand and letting that person know I'm here for you. Swan, if you need my number or anything, let me know. I'll give you my number. Or Wolfie, maybe you can get it to her. I don't know. But if you want to talk personally, I'm always down for that. I might start blubbering like an idiot. And I appreciate you guys, even if you're strolling through here, not trolling me at this moment, because I don't know, humans there for each other is the greatest thing on the planet. What's up, Corn? How you doing, man? Kind of talking about a deep subject right now. But Swan, I'm glad. I just had a feeling. I know Swan's on the opposite coast from me. Well, I'm not on the East Coast, but she's way out there on the West Coast. So, she's a couple hours behind me. And but I knew that if we threw something up that, to talk about it, that I hoped that she would show up, and she did. And she did. So that tells me that whatever happens with this channel, whatever happens, and if we don't grow the way I want to grow, it's okay. It's okay, because these are connections that we've made here, and they're more important. They're more important than any status on YouTube, or how many subs you have, or there's some things that are just way more important. And I see a long comment here from Antonio Banks. You see Swan, you see how he's taking the time to listen and help you take that chance and opportunity to understand how lucky you are to have someone like him, because most people don't have this. Yeah, it's. Thank you for that, Antonio. I think we're a little unique group here. I think that we talk about controversial things, and we talk about funny things, hopefully more funny things than anything else. You got to have those. You got to have those. And I'll share a real quick story with you. There's another YouTuber out there that I've talked about before, Jason Green. He's a guy who goes and tours with Rat, the man Rat. And he's a smart ass. He's a real smart ass. And that's kind of like what I like about him. That's one of the things I like about him. But he went on that 80s cruise. He's been trying to be a more kind, and I see a lot of people on YouTube trying to get away from all that. I got to get the greatest video up of somebody getting punched or pepper sprayed or those videos drive the growth. There's no doubt about it. But I think there's a movement on YouTube. I think people are tired of it. That all that content that's crazy, it's not what I immediately go for anymore. I look up my relaxing stuff, the people who make me relax. So I absolutely 100% am doing more content like that, because I know it's valuable, very valuable right now. People are seeking it out. They want nostalgia. They want a kind ear. They want that kind of stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it, Carlos. They want all that stuff. It makes our jobs difficult, because do I do the content that's going to get me punched or not punched, but that content's great too, because it exposes corruption. But this kind of content that actually connects on a human level with some of my subs is infinite times more valuable. Yeah, Swan. I am very, very. I can say these things to you because I know that. I mean, you're going to have some hard times. I know you are, and we all do. But you're a higher thinker. You think on a higher level. So I can tell you things like that and it not sound flippant. Like if I say, oh, Bowser's moved on to greater things. I mean that from my heart. That's not just a flippant comment. I know it. I know it for a fact. When my buddy passed away Easter Friday about 2 years ago, I prayed for a sign from the Lord if Buddy was in heaven, and he took a pic of a big B in the sky, or you took a pic. He's the world's greatest. Casey, you're the world's greatest. Thank you for stopping in, Casey. Yeah, but I don't know. So it's if it sounds trivial, the advice I'm trying to give you, it's not meant to be that way. And I know that you understand that when I say these things, I really mean them. I'll be looking for signs for Bowser. Okay. I'll ask my higher power to show me some signs. And if I see some, I'll give him. I think it could work that way. But I will tell you, Swan, you know to look for signs. You know to look for signs from Bowser, because it happens, man. If you look for them, and a lot of people say, oh, that's just selective memory. No, it's not selective memory. It's not, man. It happened so many times after my girl passed away when we were in Florida, my Xena baby. When she passed away, my wife was wrecked, dude. She suffers from, she suffers from depression in her past. She's gotten a lot better with it. I've seen her improve vastly in that area. But when we lost our dog, I was afraid I was going to lose my wife. I was afraid that she was going to get into this place that I couldn't get her out of. I've always wanted to help her get out of those places. I've started to realize now that person has to want to get out of those places, but you can do whatever you can to motivate that person, in a way that doesn't make them feel like they're doing something wrong for grieving too long or anything like that. The grieving process took my wife a couple of years, literally before we would adopt another animal, and I was ready before she was, but I get why she wasn't ready. A lot of people, they think that you lose a dog and they want to wait a while to pay respect to that dog before they bring another animal into the household. And I know yours is a different situation, Swan, but I'm just saying, you're never replacing that animal ever, because they're all very unique in their own way. Every single one of them. I've owned a lot of dogs in my life, and not one of them was the same. Not one of them was the same. They're all different in their own special way. So that's the reason that a lot of people are afraid to bring on another animal. But for me, once we picked up Mose and we got Mose and he became part of our family again, I was just like, oh, that's the piece, that's the piece we were missing, because we were a tripod. It was me, my wife, and my baby Xena, We didn't have a lot, but we had each other. We traveled all over and moved places. And then when she was gone, it was like a leg of that tripod was gone. And I reacted like a blubbering child. It hurt me so bad, because you just lose a chunk of what it's not there, so you're like, damn it. But I will tell you that once we got Mose, it wasn't a replacement. It was just a new guy that was part of our crew. And he fit in real quickly, and he filled that void. He's not replacing the dog, but he fills that void in your heart. That's awesome, Swan. Keep singing that song. Keep singing that song. Because he's listening. All right, wherever he's at, we don't know. Some people think we know a little more than you may be certain. Like Wolfie, he's certain. He's certain he's going to be up in heaven, and I hope that I'm going to be up in some form of heaven too. But yeah, Bowser's out there running. Get this image in your head, Swan, okay? Because Bowser's, if he is still a dog wherever he is, I don't know if that takes place. I don't know. But if you believe in that traditional sense of heaven, or even an afterlife in general, you think that if you did come back as something like you are, or in a different place, then you're younger, you're freer, all those aches and pains, they're not there, and I know that's another cliche. I know. Thanks, Ohio Popcorn Man, for coming in. Nice, man. I bet you make some good popcorn to be called the Popcorn Man. I think it's going to feel weird during meal times because I've been making his food like having a special diet needs toddler for a while now. Yeah, that makes it harder too. The dogs get independence. They when they're younger, they're independent. They still love you and want to be around you all the time, but there's something about taking care of an older dog too that's sick and got special needs. You got to nurse them back to health, or attempt to nurse them back to health. With Bowser, when you kind of mentioned that he he was doing bad and how old he was, I was just kind of like, oh man, because when we sign up for it, man, we know what we're signing up for. If you're a good human being, when you take on a new dog, you know what you're signing up for. And it's going to be hundreds of days of the best days of your life and one of the worst. And it sucks. I wish dogs could live to be like 40 or 50 years old. I don't like these, that we only get them for a short time. Thank you, Wolf. Thank you, nice robot. Appreciate it. That sums it up right there, Swan. That really sums it up. That comment you just made right there. So I'm going to throw it up too. We know, but we don't. Wolfie does. And I love that. I love that he can, be that sure about it. I respect that, admire that, man. I don't know if I've ever told you that, Wolfie, but I do. I really respect that, bro. The Bible says that we will see our. What's up, Tyson? Tyson, the trip was okay. I was we were kind of paying our respects to Bowser, but I can talk about the trip too. We can change it up. Swan lost her dog today, Bowser, and Swan's a Swan. I don't have to tell you anything. How was the concert? How was the concert, Tyson? I was thinking the whole day today that if I was going to do a live, and I thought about Tyson, and I thought about, well, if I don't do a live, I can't ask him how the concert was, and I really want to know how the concert was. It was a great time, I bet. You enjoyed it a lot, man. Like when we were raising our pets and loving them, we know we have to say goodbye. But yet not the sheer raw emotion of it. Yeah. I mean, you think you're ready, you think you're ready for it. And then as that time gets closer, you start to go, crap, I might not be ready for it. I'm seeing Mose grow old now. I'm seeing Gray. I hate to see him grow old because he became a dog when he came to our house. He didn't know how to dog. He was abused. I threw a frisbee at him one time in the backyard. He didn't know how to play it. Hit him right in the nose, and he just looked at me like, "Why'd you do that?" so the bond when you bring a dog in, it's there. Don't get me wrong, but that damn bond gets so strong, throughout your life and all your memories together. You have so many memories tied to these guys and girls. And we're very fortunate to have them, even though I'm sitting here saying it sucks that they're 10. Some of them live to be 10, 11. Some of them live a little older. Cats tend to live a little bit longer, but it's never enough time. It's never enough. Yeah. I didn't, hold on. Here we go. No, no, no. Yeah, you didn't. No, I'm glad. I want people to come in here. I'm over here freaking doing my stupid get out of the car. That those 2 times that y'all have seen me do that, I promise to you, man. I don't. That's not something that I would normally do in front of other people. But I know you guys get me, so that's how I'm able to do that. And it's not embarrassing to me. That's not why I get out of the car. If I get emotional, it's just I don't want to upset Swan. I don't want to upset you guys. I just want to motivate her, and it's difficult to do that when you're feeling kind of what she's feeling. And then here's Wolfie. I never prayed for a dog. Tell my Mia that the basis hound was paralyzed, and I prayed that I didn't have to put her down. And I never seen a paralyzed dog walk till a few weeks later. I'm praying that in the Lord. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you, Wolfie. Thank you for that. Tyson saying keep going. That's the positive comments will always roll in through our subs. Yeah, Tyson, please do. I need the normal during this. Absolutely. And that's why I did question him on that. I want to know more. And I can tell you some stories about our trip, but let me finish these real quick. Will you give a sign that he has them and he is better taken care of and he is waiting to be in your arms again? Thank you, Wolfie. That's very loving. We're all here for each other. Exactly. We're all here because we're not all there, right? See, it's ingrained now, Tyson. I know it's just a quote that should have been ingrained in my head for a long time, but certain quotes, they mean more at certain times. So when you threw that up the other night, I was like, yes, I love that because I consider all of us kind of oddballs. I'm only friends with oddballs. If you're straight laced, do everything to the book. I mean, I could still be friends with you, but I like authentic people. I was going to try to say authenticity, but for some reason, and I'm not high right now either. Want to hear something funny? Yesterday, I took my daughter to an antique store and she picked out a giant deer antlers to take home. Did you bring them home? Well, I deer horned myself while she was carrying them, so I made her get something soft instead. It's the only time in history you'll ever hear a woman beg for something softer. Hey, I prayed for a pretzel before, and I heard a voice say, "Stop playing Twister by yourself." Just kidding. That's kind of funny. I like that. Wolf. Yeah, I did a couple of live streams on the way to Nashville. That's why I laugh. CLTF. I know CL. You walk into this, it's 3 or 4 people who are part of my group, and we share personal information. We try to help each other out any way we can. That's you left the W out though. So yeah, I did a couple of live streams and driving there, and we got off track and we couldn't get into Nashville. We had to find a way to get into Nashville. I had to use my phone to navigate. And then I did a real short one when I got to the person's house. As far as like, I'd mentioned to you guys that who lived across the street from her was Steve-O. And in the back of my mind, you hope, or he has trails. And of course I'm there hoping, man, it'd be cool if he called up and said, "Hey, y'all want to come walk the trails or something or anything?" Just want to meet the guy. But he was over there. He was over it. He's got a big bought a 2 million parcel of land over there, and I could see his bus was there, and he came at least once or twice. I wasn't creeping. We were sitting out on the porch of this young lady's house that we were at, and it that's what you looked at right across the street, you know. So we sat out there, we drank a little bit, had a good time, we played some games. What's up, Dion? From Jersey? Yeah, he was. I didn't get to meet him, but you know, I talked to Jenny. That's the girl that we went up there. It's my wife's very good friend from when she worked at DCS many years ago. We hadn't seen her in 15, 20 years. So to be able to see her again, and I learned a new card game, guys. I learned a new card game that's really cool. We've started by just playing Sorry. She had like some weird collection of games, and you know, we had all partaken in a gummy, and so we were, it didn't matter. We just wanted the companionship and hanging out and recharging from other positive people. We got really competitive. But anyway, she pulled out this Phase 9. Have you guys ever played that game, Phase 9? And I was like, I'm not going to be able to learn this game. You know, I'm too, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, high to learn that game. But man, what a game, guys. If you've never played Phase 9. Well, and I believe me, I thought many, many times about how could I take this over to the studio. Is it Phase 10? Okay, Phase 10. Thank you. Thank you, Swan. I've never played it before. And man, it was so competitive. I got onto my run of 9, and I've heard that's the real hard one. And I got past it, and we all made it. All 3 of us made it to the final, and my wife took it, you know, with the 5 and 3 at the end. But they stick that run of 9 in there, and you're like, no. Seems like you're not going to be able to do it. Phase 9, I think it was. That's the one I played, I think. But it was a very strategic game, and I loved it. I was like, I never knew that this card game was this strategic. You know, you really have to have your cards in a certain order to see what you have. And I mean, and that person could be on a different run than you are, and you're trying to look and get rid of your cards over there. It's a great game. It was one of the two, Simon. We'll figure it out. It don't matter. Today is World Atheist Day. Ron, you celebrating World Atheist Day today? Good to have you in here, Ron. We're critical thinkers. We're not gonna. You've been in here before. I think you have. We're not gonna jump on you because you said the atheist word, right, Wolfie? No, and then on the next day we just wanted to get home because we wanted to get to our dogs. We were gonna stop and do a bunch of cool stuff. It just didn't happen because it was, spring break's going on. And there was a whole lot of things we wanted to do as far as like, you know how road trips are, guys. We only had one night. When you get one night away, man, you plan all these grand things and then you do what you can. It's not like I didn't want to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to find something to do. I just wanted to be in the moment. So that's what we did. And it wound up being a really great night. Holy crap, we stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And then I passed out for 3 hours and got up and got breakfast, and we got the hell out of Dodge and headed back to Memphis. It's funny you mentioned that, Tyson. I feel really, really terrible about this, man, but I've always been like this. We were in a small part of Tennessee, Portland, Tennessee, to be exact. And, there weren't a lot of places to eat. And so she had all these grand ideas, our host, that she was going to make all this stuff. I told her, I was like, look, hold off on that. We'll play it by ear, because I'm a really strange eater. And that's my fault. That's not her fault. So I didn't really eat too much that she offered, unfortunately. And I felt really terrible about that. But I, in the South, it's different. Okay. In the South, if somebody comes up and says, "Here, try this chocolate gravy," or whatever it might be, it could be some strange food. And you need to accept that and take it. Because if you don't accept that and take it, then people in the South look at you like, "Wow, turning down my food." Well, I've just been unfortunate. I was raised a picky eater, and I've always been that way. I will literally, some things I put in my mouth, I'll gag reflex like I'm 5 years old. I know it's sad, a grown man with a palate like a 12-year-old, but so I did mention that to her at the end of the trip, or when we were getting ready to leave. I said, my wife ate, don't get me wrong, but I stopped and had a big arch going in. I'm not going to lie. I saw it and I knew it was going away. And we were on a road trip. So I was like, give me that big arch. Yeah, chocolate gravy. They made some chocolate gravy. She didn't have any chicken fingers for you. No, she had all that snack food stuff. She had a lot of snack foods and things like that. But she wanted to. That's funny. That's funny. I could hear my wife. "Hey, Jen, we're coming up. Make sure you put the mac and cheese on for liver cheese." Yeah, but I talked to her about it because I could sense it, and I know how it is in the South. And I told her, I said, it's just me. It's just me. I told her I loved her as a person. Her hospitality was great. We stayed with her. She didn't have to do that, but she did. And I'll tell you this, Tyson, especially you, man. The coolest part of the entire evening, we it was just an adult board game night, like we would have in the studio, except it was live action. But I kept going outside, and I walked out far from the property and got into a really dark place, dark place, literally, and looked up. And because when you live near a city, you don't see a lot of the stars. So I knew I was going to take that opportunity, and I was blown away. Holy crap! I looked up, I saw stuff moving. I saw a satellite. I know I saw a satellite. And you don't, back in the day, in the 80s, you didn't see that kind of stuff. You saw stuff up there, but you didn't see things moving, like all over the place. You were just kind of like, okay. And it kind of reconnects you with the with the universe when you see that too. It makes you feel this small. Mole, pronounced mole, tastes like chocolate gravy for chicken. I got it. Did you hear me say mole before you said pronounced mole? Um, but yeah, on the way home, I just let the Subaru do the work. I got into the right lane, put it on cruise control, and I think I stayed in the right lane the entire way home. It was pretty awesome. Car drove itself, literally. Uh, so yeah, fantastic. Tell us about your concert. It was Steven Wilson, right? Anything cool happen? Is mole a drug? It probably makes everything like chocolate. Yeah, that one was kind of hard to wrap my brain around. Um, I mean, I've heard of it. I don't know that I've ever had it, to be honest. What's your shirt say? It says racism sucks. Um, you didn't meet him, did you? Hey, Tyson, you didn't meet him, did you? Yeah, he came out and the crowd was great. Crowd was great, a great show, and had some good tacos before. Okay, well, that did the night end well? Because if you're telling me about this great time you had, but you started with tacos, sometimes that can veer into dangerous territory where, well, 90% of the night was wonderful until I had to, we're not going to get too graphic here, but tacos. Cool, man. Cool. I wish you could have met him. Wish you could have met him. Were you, hey, I didn't ask you, Tyson, you might not want to even, you don't have to share if you don't want to. Were you solo? Were you there solo or did you have a date or? I've always admired people who can go to a concert or a movie. I go to movies by myself. That doesn't bother me at all. Usually during the day. When I was younger, I used to think more of it. I used to think, oh, look, everybody's going to look at me like, oh, you don't have a date or whatever. But you reach a certain age where you're like, I don't give a shit what they think. I'm just here to watch a movie. Um, and we really go around life, don't we? We really think that everybody notices every little detail about you when you're out in public. And I think that's so funny because it's really the exact opposite. So many people have so many other things going on, they're not focused on and I can tell my wife this 100 times, hey, throw a hat on. Let's go hit the store or whatever. And she sometimes she's down with that, but most of the time she wants to get ready. And I understand that. I feel bad for it because women are just set at a higher. They have to look. Women have to look a certain way before they go out, and that's not cool. 46 Sunday. She took me out for my birthday. Yeah, you had a date. Oh, you had a date, Wolfie. Okay. 6'3", bro. Did you play any basketball or anything? That's that always what we go to whenever we see somebody tall. I always do it like I'll see like a guy walking around in a store or something. I'll know he's a Memphis Grizzlies player or something, or a basketball, or maybe a football player for the Tigers. That's our college team here. And you see them, and you they're just the way they're built. We just assume that a lot of people are an athlete. So if I see like a really tall guy coming by or something, and I wanted to ask him, I'd say something like, "Hey, who do you play golf for?" Something like that. And they're always kind of taken aback by that because it's a dad joke. It's a dad joke, but clearly it's a basketball player. He's 7 foot tall. Did you? Well, are you a 3-point shooter or were you an inside guy? What was the deal? Keep going. I paid for an hour of Wi-Fi for this. Oh man. Uh, Raise a glass tonight, guys. Even if it's a glass of Coke or a glass of water. It's another thing very interesting. Can I share this with y'all? Okay, we were there and she didn't have water. Like she had any kind of this, any kind of drink. She had them, but she didn't have bottled water. And I was like, danger, 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 and yeah. So I don't know if we could have stayed another day. We could have went and got water. It's not like we were in the desert or something. But I just thought it was strange. Maybe it's a southern thing. A lot of people don't have water in their house like that, bottled water. I would be dead if I didn't have bottled water in my house. I mean, I'll drink tap water. Don't get me wrong. I'm not above tap water. I was inside guy, but I was 6'3" at 15, so I stopped growing and wasn't big enough to be a true center. Oh man. Yeah, I drink tap water too. Tap water in Memphis is not bad. It's pretty good. They had fluoride in it. I don't know if they took it out, especially in the country with a good well. Yeah, she had tapped into the city water. They had a well, but she had to pay like. Maybe that's why she didn't have. Maybe that's why she didn't have bottled water. That's exactly why. You have CTG'd us. You helped us understand. Because she had recently tapped into the city water because of the well. She got cows and all kinds of stuff out there. But and it costs a lot of money to do it. I can't remember what she said, but it was a lot. So maybe she's in there like, yeah, I got my city water now, and she's like, yeah, city water, no more bottled water for me. So, I don't know. You can't take the fluoride out. We don't drink well water where I'm at. I got a keyboard out and we played some music and I was goofy the whole night. I kept coming in and telling them, girl, my wife, for whatever reason, and this is going to sound weird, guys. I don't want you to think the more I talk about this trip, the more it sounds like I was going there to spy on Steve-O. That wasn't the case. My wife bought or she didn't buy it. She brought a pair of binoculars, I guess, that I'd picked from somewhere, and I didn't even realize she had them. And she brings them out, true story, at night, and I look out there, and my wife, and she's a smart lady. She's got her binocular, but she's also maybe a little drunk, but she had the binoculars looking up at the stars, and I said, she said, I can't see anything. I said, that's because it's binoculars and not a stethoscope. And then I mean, I can't even remember now. What do you call? Why is the word slipping? You know what I'm talking about. The to look into space. What's up, OG? How did a blind man fall in the hole? How did the blind man fall in the hole? Unless you like arsenic and manganese. Sounds like it was a fun night. Get this man a 30 rack of Coors Light. You look like a man who knows how to enjoy a fine night of boozing and cruising. I've done my share of those, man. Not gonna lie. Telescope, thank you. Save the day, raw trash lord. Thank you, man. Yeah, but at the time, and oh, we got a good chuckle out of course, because I made an ass out of myself. But when I found out those binoculars were there, I kept whenever we'd take a break from the games, I'd run out and I'd find little things, because when you're in the country, you'll see lights off in the distance, And I was in this very imaginative mood, so I was looking at some light, not at Steve-O's place. Y'all don't be perverts. At a neighbor's way up on a hill, up you could see little lights. So I was coming up with these stories. I would come in and say, "Hey, let's go on a grand adventure." I said, "Jen, do you have a neighbor over there in that general vicinity?" And she's like, "Yes." I said, "Okay, but could it potentially be a UFO?" And I kept coming in saying, "I think I saw a UFO," or I think I saw this or that. We were just being silly. And the next day when we woke up and I went out and I looked at those things I was looking at, it was ridiculous stuff. Though I was staring at somebody's lawnmower, riding lawnmower, and it looked metallic. It looked like a robot. I kept swearing it was a robot. The next morning, my grand adventure turned out to be false. It was a riding lawnmower. But we had fun at the time, and that's what it's here for, right? You're just having fun. Telescope, ha ha ha. 2 minutes later. Yeah. So it was a good little recharging night. I recharging a lot now at night with you guys and going out there. And it just all goes back to what I was talking about earlier, how, a lot of people are looking for, they're looking for kindness. They're looking for, they want to, I want to see the human side of the world. Tired of seeing people beat each other up and call each other names and knock each other down. And it's just like, why would I waste any time with that? When I could just be doing what I feel like I need to do. I don't know. Deep conversations, C2G. No, but hey, Swan, I'm definitely, absolutely, 100%. Swan, are you able to reach out to Wolfie? Do y'all have any contact information or anything? Because I could here. Hold on. Hang on, I'm just doing something. I was trying to see because I would love to have I would love to for Swan, if you wanted, my or Wolfie or anybody's information. I know you're surrounded by a lot of loved ones probably and friends who can help you through this situation. But we're here, we're here. If you came on here and you were crying and you were really upset, and I know you are. And I just want to offer that to you. If it was 5 years from now and I had 500,000 subs, I would absolutely still do the same thing. I haven't talked to Wolf Eyes out here. I don't have any friends outside of YouTube. I tried to give my number through her shorts and the messages. Yeah, I let her know that, my TikTok over there. But yeah, if you ever, I'm just going to comment. I'll comment on your post that you put up. I'll put up, hey, you need to talk or anything. If you ever need to talk, I will throw my number up there in a minute. I would expect you to erase it, and you would because you're a smart person. Look, Wolfie, look at Wolf. Yeah, that's good to be able to do. I think I can do that too. People have talked about, well, you're gonna what do you call it? Dox yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I stand behind what I say. So it's okay if I get doxxed. I mean, what are you gonna do? SWAT me? I mean, SWAT me from Studio C? Never saw it. Sorry. Plus, it's horrible staying. I need Wi-Fi minutes to send that number. Well, if you screenshotted it, cool. Yeah, because if you're like me, Swan, you'll be fine 1 minute, and then you'll see something that'll trigger an emotional, not well, breakdown. I guess you could call it a breakdown. And we need to have those. You might not need to. Maybe you're ready for that, and maybe you already did it and got it out. And I love your positivity though about everything. That's you're a strong individual. I have long conversation with scam calls just to make friends. Oh man. Hey, Tyson, how long was the set, bro? How long did he play for? How long did Steven Wilson Jr. play for the other night? We when we were driving home, we found a place called Taco. What the hell was it called? Taco John or something? Taco 2.5 hours. Woo, yeah, man, that's a classic right there. Anything over 2 hours, The big bands out there you can expect 2 hours from, or close to it. Some of them still do an hour and 30 if they're. But a good concert should be about 2 hours. Anything over 2 hours, you're venturing into classic territory. I heard Bob Seger will go up there and play for 3.5 hours sometimes. George Clinton, I heard he'll get up there and play for 4 hours sometimes. It just depends on how they're feeling at the moment. Tyson, did he play my favorite song of his, Holler for the Holler? Tyson, did he play Holler for the Holler? Plus a good hour opener. Oh, yeah. I bet the opener was good. Was the opener good? He did play it, Swan. Usually guys like that, I don't know if they do it intentionally, but they want to know the artist before. I don't know how true that is. That might have just been bullshit coming out of my mouth. But I've always thought that if it's an artist who's more, like he is, kind of, like the outlaw kind of deal. I would go crazy to hear that live. Yeah, some chick I didn't know, but she was good. Yeah, I figured as such, and a lot of storytelling too. But yeah, man, the good ones do that. The good ones do that. They might not have to, wax into these long, drawn out stories, but that's definitely a way to get the crowd into the palm of your hands. If you're more personal with them, then they're gonna trust you more, and they're gonna be open to hearing that version of that song played differently. If they'll be okay with it. I like the meaning of each song. Sure, it wasn't Jen and you was barely see his beard. The only other thing that happened on the trip that I thought was interesting. It's not that interesting, but there was when we stopped at a shop for adult fun. Wait, that could be construed as we were in an adult shop. We stopped at they don't have weed shops. Because it's not legal, but they have their gummy shops just like they do here. By the way, guys, have you noticed the gummy shops when you go into them now? Every gummy shop in my area that you go into, they're blowing up, man. They're expanding. They're buying more product. And I love that, man, because that tells. I love it and I hate it. I love it because the vape shops and the gummy stores and all that, they're doing great right now. So that's good. That's good news. The flip side is we're getting all our medical care, we're getting our pain relief from gummies. A lot of people are doing it that you don't know are doing it. A whole lot of people. Because every time you go into one of these gummy stores, they're getting more and more and more product. You don't get less product, or you don't get more product because you're not selling. And they're bringing in wild stuff. Guys, as a matter of fact, I have a purchase decision to make. Our vape shop is right over here behind me. I just found a secluded area. And they have started selling really weird stuff, but they sell a portable emulator, a little Game Boy emulator that I've seen everywhere. It's RG36 or something. It's got like thousands of games on it. And I saw it and I was like, what? Wow, y'all are selling this stuff now? I said, how much is that? He was like, oh, $60. And I was like, And I went home and did a little research on it. He's trying to ask a little too much, but it's not way too much. He's asking like $10, $15 more than it really is online. But I might go in there and check that thing out and see how many games it has on it and pick that up. If I can get it for 45 or 50. And he's usually pretty good at lowering price for me. All right, what do we got here? It's all legal. Head shops. Yep. I walked out of a Mudvayne concert a few months ago. Not as good as they once was. Now look, Swan. Now that could have also had something to do with your changing taste in music. Maybe, because I'm like that with Def Leppard. I've seen those guys so many times. I don't really have to see them again.
But they're that kind of band. They're only going to play the hits. So yeah, I might go look at that emulator. It's because my wife would get a lot of fun out of that too. She loves fighting games. And yeah, if I can get an emulator with 1,000 games on it for like 40 something bucks, I might go grab that. Sure, it's so exciting. Head shops is all legal in New York. I got to grow up in America before it turned to shit. Yeah, that's true. All future shows will always be in that parking lot with the gummies. Oh man, look, I actually found out the wife's off tomorrow too, but I'm going to go ahead and I know I said it last week and I didn't do it, but tomorrow night I'm going to be in the studio. I have things to show you guys. By the way, eBay's picking up. I've sold quite a few things over the last few days, which is very helpful when you've just gotten back from a road trip. Gas to and from Nashville in the Subaru, it was about, still have half a tank. We left with an empty tank, filled that up, $50. Coming home, $40 to fill it up. So $90, plus we still have a half tank of gas. So not bad. I'm glad right now I'm not driving a giant pickup truck. That's all I'll say about that. The Subaru's looking smarter and smarter as these gas prices continue to creep. Sorry, man. That's the first time we brought the outside news into the stream tonight. It's very unique for us, but we had one big goal tonight. Everything else takes a back seat to that, because all my subs are very important, and you few, you know who you are. I can name you off on two hands. Y'all are very important. Anything happens to you guys, I want to know, and I want to be there to help in any way I can, or at least get your mind off of it for a little bit. No, whatnot. I actually, I did make whatnot. I did. If you did 150 cells, they matched it. So they matched my cells. I did 150 and they matched it. I've still got to put my my routing information in, but that's sitting there. So that came over, and no, I sold one of my thermal printers, and I sold something else. Oh, some beauty products. I told you how to cheat it. Yeah, I know. An emulator is it's just a Game Boy. Remember the Game Boy that people played Pokemon on and all that? It's just all it is it's illegal, by the way. It shouldn't come preloaded with games. That's illegal. But it comes preloaded with like I don't know, sometimes 10,000 games. And they could be from old systems like the Nintendo DS. They could be arcade games, or they could be PlayStation, PSP, stuff like that. And you have it all on one little player. So even if you're not a huge video game person, it's always something good to have on a road trip. Yeah, you did tell me how to cheat it, Tyson. I'm going to go back to Whatnot this week. I've just got to get, I want to get things that are alike. That's the thing about Whatnot. If you have, if I'm selling 20 products that are very similar to each other, then that's how you do it. You don't, I learned that the hard way, because I was in there and I got gone through all the products that I sold, and I was like, oh, who wants to see some Pokemon cards? Crickets. This was after I'd sold a bunch of beauty product. So I'm like, yeah, they don't want Pokemon cards. Duh. You see what I said about Trump? Where'd you say it? Let me see. Trump was on news today saying how he took care of the crime problem. I know, man. Why'd you bring that up? I didn't want to be in the city today. No, I was just kind of like, it's because wherever he is, it's not like there's going to be It's going to be secretive, and it's not like the public's going to be out there. It was an in and out. It's to toot his horn. And he's not wrong. Crime has dropped a little bit in Memphis, but most of it is because of the thought of there being more police presence here. We've definitely given out more tickets. Absolutely, there's more tickets. The driving around here has improved. Memphis is terrible drivers, and that's fine. So it did have some value. The problem is when they all leave, is it going to go right back to what it was? That's my whole thing. Sevy, what's up, man? How'd you shoot? How'd you finish the tournament, Seth? You shot a 3 under on Saturday. Hopefully you and you weren't happy with it. So hopefully today you shot like a 7 under 63 or 7 under 65 if it's a 72 course. I don't know. He's on now saying it. Yeah, and I get it, man. That's part of politics. You look at your, even if it's not the success that you're saying it is, it's still a success. And he's going to go and he's going to, of course, any success right now, he's going to bump up. You know, I get it. I didn't want to have a part of it. I don't want to be around that. I've been in a better place when I talk less about politics. And of course, tomorrow morning I'll be on here screaming about something. It's not true. I haven't done that in a few days. So yeah, I know he's here. And it's okay. He's allowed to be here, and we're allowed to be here. You're running cover for the CIA. Oh, man. No. Tennessee stopped running the state. Stop running the state like the rest of the country. They're doing, again, I'm not, 2 months ago, I would have come in here and told you nothing good at all would come out of things that he's done. But what they're doing here in Memphis is what they're doing at the airports. Remember the other day he said he was going to, I saw that the other night. I saw he was sending ICE into the airports. And at first I was kind of like, I was thinking this is going to be bad. But then I realized, no, it's not going to be bad. He's sending them in to do the same thing that they do in Memphis. They're just walking around. You don't see them out on the streets. You'll see them in the mall. You go into the mall, you see them, you see 5 ICE guys in there. So there are some benefits to it, but again, it's not long term. We got to get the long-term solutions. Wow, me giving Trump credit. No, but I knew today, and I'll tell you another thing, man. I was a little mad because I turned it on and CNN was on there, and they were talking about they were just trying to dig. Like, do you see any of the federal agents going up and asking people for IDs, and how are they doing it? I knew that's not what he was doing that for. But it looks on paper like that's what he's doing it for. That's not why he was doing it. He was doing it so that they could help out in menial positions. They're not going to help with the X-ray machines. They're not trained out to do that. But yeah, and the CNN guy, have you heard anything about it? I'm like, no, and you're not going to. A light clicked on. I knew exactly why he did it. And I knew that they weren't going to screw with people. It's just a intimidation kind of factor. My hotel don't have ice or ice buckets. Guys, hey, if you're Tyson, I'm letting you know in advance, bro. 28th, Saturday, you know where I'll be on the 28th. I'm going to be downtown, capturing some footage. Hopefully we don't capture any footage of counter protest, and nastiness happen. I don't think we will. But yeah, I'll be out there. Tyson. So be prepared to call me liver cheese liberal, liver cheese the lib. I hate that term. I don't identify with most of that. I identify with being a progressive. And you're laughing right now. I know you are. It's all the same, progressive, liberal, whatever. No, man, it's not. We're all so uniquely different on our views. So don't lump liver cheese up, and you'll still get some good footage. Even if you just want to make fun of the people, you'll still get some good footage. But I'm going to be about love on Saturday. Saturday's going to be a hell of a day. What are y'all doing on Saturday? Lefty cheese, liberal cheese, liberal cheese. Yeah. Shirt says racism sucks. No, sir. Racism sucks. With a thumbs up. So, he's gonna come and flame me. Who's this guy? Dan, he's gonna flame me. Dandy's World. No, man, it's been a relatively politic-free evening because we had a bigger thing happen. And we want to make sure that our one of our core members is solid, or at least solid as she can be. She tells me I'm solid for right now, I'm okay. You're solid for right now, aren't you, Swan? You better be. I don't have an ice bucket, but what you did for liver chick for Wolfie. Lefty cheese. I like it. Oh, I did. I'll tell you what I did do though. You're good? Okay, good. I'll tell you what I did do, and you can call it, you can call it tacky or whatever. But I mean, hell, half the night, Jen was talking about, she'd been over to Steve-O. Steve-O was going to hire her to do some. He's building a farm out there, and he doesn't know what he wants to do with it yet. I think they think he's trying to build some entertainment complex or something, but he's not. That I know. He's getting animals, and he doesn't know a lot about cows and stuff like that. So the woman we were with is his neighbor across the street, so they've kind of bonded, and he comes to her to ask her about certain animals, certain things, and how they should deal with them. Did not. Good job, liver cheese, on the younger women. But she was bringing it up, talking about Steve-O and everything, and he'd actually brought her into the studio too. She also met some comedian called Redneck Tammy, or Tammy the Redneck or something. I'm not familiar with her. She showed me a clip of her. She seemed pretty funny. But yeah, she was talking all about that. So the next day when I'm leaving, I put down my channel name I put it down on a sheet of paper. I put liver cheese, and I put the channel name and what the channel's about, and gave it to Jen and told her, do not feel obligated at all to give Steve-O this information. But if you're ever with him and he's talking, about, something, or maybe he's making fun of liberals or whatnot, I think Steve-O is he's kind of in the middle, I think. I'm not going to make a judgment call on that just yet. But, yeah, that I'm there, and if he wanted to have me do anything, I'd clearly do it for Steve-O. Because that would change how you see liver cheese if I somehow got involved with that. So, I did what I needed to do. And Jenny wasn't upset about it. She understood it. How often do you have an opportunity to even give a person of that stature your information? You know what I mean? So, and she might not give it to him. And that's okay if she doesn't. That's okay if she doesn't. I'm not going to sit around waiting. I wonder if Steve-O got my information. I'm not a moron, okay? He probably will never get it, and that's fine. If it wasn't meant to be that day, then maybe it's meant to be another day. Maybe it's meant to be another time. Maybe it's not meant to be at all. I'm not going to stress myself out about it. Oh, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. She had her on. She showed me a couple clips. I didn't know who she was, but whoever, who did I say? Tammy the Redneck or something, the Redneck. She actually was part of Steve O's comedy show that he had at Zany's in Nashville that she gave free tickets to Jenny and her family to. So she got to go backstage and meet them all back there. And she met this lady and said she was a really nice lady. Going to the store with liver cheese. Man, and I still have some. As soon as I let you guys go tonight, and I'm gonna go back and eat. I'm gonna. I am gonna come on tomorrow night. We're gonna do that. It's a Tuesday night. I started on a Tuesday night. We got to do it on a Tuesday night. I'm gonna say 8 o'clock. Let's do 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I have no plans to get wasted before them, so I forget the feed or something like that. That's not gonna happen. Now you think that's happened? It hadn't happened. I got a lot of, as soon as I let you guys go, I'm going to go and edit some more of my zoo videos because I have a lot of those that I shot on, was it Thursday or Friday? I think it was Thursday. Still got a lot of little footage, little clips and longer videos that I'm going to put up too, but the clips are what's working right now. So that's what I'm going to put up. And I think the clips help too. I think they help people. If it's something cute and you don't have to spend a lot of time looking at it, it takes a minute. Yeah, that's, people want that. You know, they want something cute to look at that they're not going to have to really focus in on. Going to the store with liver chicken. Do that, man. My dog has been in surgery since 5:30. What? Well, what's going on, Wolfie? Why didn't you tell us about that? Why didn't you tell us about that, Wolfie? What's your dog in surgery for? You're in a hotel. You have your dog. Wolfie, are you? Yeah, I need to know that. The people in Portland were great. Oh, you did tell us earlier? I'm so sorry, Wolf. I apologize for that, bro. Infection in her uterus. Oof. I'm going to try to send you some positive energy, man. Ah, yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Think she's going to be okay, though. Think she's going to be okay. Yeah, so we'll go tomorrow night. But I'm going to edit some videos. I might put a couple of shorts out tonight. I know you're just chomping at the bit to see those. But I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm behind the dominoes. Anybody want to add anything? Anybody want to give a shout out or anything about your day, Wolf? Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. I think that situation's going to be okay. If it's not okay, then you know damn well to shoot me over a text or call me. You've got the same invitation, brother. If you're ever having a hard time with anything, especially emotions about an animal or anything like that, I'd take your call at 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't be calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning, Wolfie. No, I would. If it was something you really needed help for, man, I would. It wouldn't matter if it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Hell, I'm probably awake at 4 o'clock in the morning, to be honest. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for being awesome, Swan. Playing Frogger on the highway. I may be playing Frogger in a minute too. I may go get that little video game. If I do, I'll show y'all that. Yeah, if I get that, I'll show y'all that. And I'll show you, Swan, what it is and what it entails. And usually, Swan, those kind of things, to get a good build quality, which is to play it, not break it, usually, you're looking at probably about $100, $150, which still not a lot if you play games a lot. But to have one at around $50 that's decent, that's pretty cool. And I'll show you if I get it. Still sounds dirty. All right, guys. I love y'all, and I'm Swan again. The invitation's there. If you can't if you ever need to chat or anything, maybe breaking some rules or whatever, some rules that they have for streamers and YouTubers, but I ain't never marched to the beat of my own drummer anyway, so it don't matter. If I want to give it to you, I'll give it to you. Hey-o! I meant the number. I had one like that plugs into a TV. Yeah, I've had them too. I've downloaded them on my phone, and I actually can play the games on my phone. So why would I be looking? Well, the phone is, I don't know. I just like the format of the way it's set up like a Game Boy. The screen's a different size. I kind of dig that. I know what you're laughing at. So yeah, guys, that's it. Hey, keep the other story. One more story. It's not a big deal, but I just found it interesting. When we were waiting I'd already started the story and then stopped. He's not high. I'm not high today. Today, not high today. No. So we were in front of the store and I noticed the car parked next to me. They came out and it was, it looked like it could be a lesbian. I don't want to be the stereotype type of person, but it was a short-haired female. And wait, that's not all. It was the entire dress and everything. Not dress, the way she was dressing, but she also had a rainbow flag bandana tied around her rearview mirror. So I was sitting there thinking, as I was watching her come out, she was right next to me, and she got in the car, and I was like, I just kind of glanced over, and her window was down, my window was down. I said, I like your bandana up there. And she looked at me and she said, "You're one of the few." And I was like, I get it. You're in Portland, Tennessee. I said, but I appreciate it. And I'm glad I didn't say I'm glad you're whatever, but she was just like, yeah, it's kind of a red bubble around here. A lot of people don't never comment on her. They have negative things to say about it. I said, well, I wouldn't do that, but I wish you well. I hope you find a place where you're not surrounded by people that hate you for being gay. Not that everybody in Portland hates her for being gay. That was such a broad statement. I should be ashamed of myself. But she probably gets more of that than she does just straight up love. I could be wrong, though. I've been proven wrong many times in my life. 100 milligrams. Tyson. Stick it in, stick it out. Your credit card, that is. I was wondering how Elon Musk new robot girlfriends give them money. Oh man. Yeah, and I had a damn good breakfast. No, I ain't gonna do it. Tyson will rip my ass up if I tell him that I eat at Hardee's again when I was out of town. Easy breakfast on the way home, bro. They had a pork chop biscuit with gravy. We don't have we have one Hardee's, that one that I had to drive over to get the 3-piece chicken tender, which is tomorrow. Buy one, get one free. Pork chop biscuit with gravy on it. Sounds amazing, right? It was kind of burnt up a little bit, but I still enjoyed it because it's not something that I see every day. Yep, $6 chicken tender fingers. 6 of them. 6 of them on Tuesdays. Now you got me excited for tomorrow. Can't wait to get my chicken tendies. All right, guys. I love y'all. Tyson, I'm glad you had a great concert, man. I hope there's many more in your future. Swan, same thing goes. Wolf, if you get any bad news or anything like that and you want to talk, brother, give me a holler. And I think she's gonna be okay though. Palate of a 5-year-old. Absolutely. Tyson, you just inadvertently came up with a fantastic video We have a new Indian buffet right around the corner, and we don't have any Indian buffets in my area. It's the first one. And I've been wanting, I know my wife loves Indian food. I've seen people eat it a lot because I watch a lot of travel videos. There's certain things I would try. I want to try that mint rice. They have a mint rice. And it's naturally green. I know, green rice that has a natural mint flavor to it. I've heard about it. And I want to try that. And I want to try the naan with the, with the chicken and I can make a meal in there. It's not going to be a big meal. But the video could be me, the palate of a 5-year-old liver cheese, going into an Indian buffet and trying Indian for the first time. I have to be real careful with the filming because people are creepy about that in restaurants. Well, wait, they're not creepy inside a restaurant to wonder why somebody's filming. That's okay. I get that. And I'm an auditor. I get that. But I'll try to, I think that's a good video idea. Because man, I would. It's spicy, right? A lot of spicy. It burns twice. Just get takeout then. Duh. Yeah, I'm not good with spice either, man. I sweat like that damn Wendy's spicy chicken had me sweating like I was like, what in the hell is this? Sweat, beads, drop. Man, I would look like I'd probably be sneezing all into this crap. It's going to be a sight to see. Thanks for that idea, Tyson. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to roll out. Swan, love you. Love all you guys. Swan, you got this. Okay. And if you do go through these things and they're, it's too much of a roller coaster ride again, I will give you my information. If you have, wait, I'm not even going to say if you have. I was about to say if you had no one to call. Why would I even that those words shouldn't even come out of my mouth? That makes no sense. You could call me, but it would have to be before your mother or father, before your anybody. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Much love. Love you, Tyson. Love you, Wolfie. Love you, T2. Love you, Relaxing Music. Love you, anybody who's been in here tonight and you've sat and listened and maybe gotten something out of it. Then I love you too. And yeah. And I'm going to be looking for signs for you, Swan. Okay. I will. I know what Bowser looks like. I didn't know him personally as a dog, but I'm going to be on the lookout for anything positive that I would consider maybe a sign. There has been one sign, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching videos of that emulator, and they were playing. They always put on the Mario games. So there was a lot of Bowser. I was watching for the last hour. I was just seeing what games were on there. This guy was showing what games or whatnot. And he was going to all the Mario ones. So Bowser, it's still there, buddy. It's still relaxing. Yeah, he came back. He popped in on my stream going to Nashville. I couldn't believe it. He was okay. He just can't remember what he said. He just been really busy or whatever. And I should expect that. Why would I not? But sometimes when you get used to talking to people continuously and they're not there, you think, was it something I did? Was it something somebody else did? I don't know. Just like Swan, just like you do. You do that when you make an appearance. Did I say the right things? Be yourself. Be yourself. You're always saying the right things. Always. I love you guys. Let's try it. We didn't do any politics tonight, so I can do this one. Love you guys, and I'm going to sign off by saying this. Remember, the galaxy's greatest alien. Remember what the galaxy's greatest alien said. Be good. Love you guys. CTG out.